spent my first 15 years trying to get out of the woods because I thought it was horrible. And I spent the next 20 years trying to get back. The truth of the matter is we need to be well-rounded individuals like our forefathers were.
What's up, all you beautiful people out there in YouTube and Facebook land? We are back. Finally. It's been a couple weeks. Of course, I'm your host, Big T, with Mountain Readiness, coming at you live here from the back 40 in northwestern North Carolina. To the box next to me is my good friend and co-host, not just a pretty face, a man among men. Don't be mad at him because he models for Greek god statue carving.
Oh, Lord, dude. Battery will get you everywhere, bro.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at. We got Big Pete Robertucci, Sandy Davis, Matthew King, Christy Renee. We got some people in the house. You've been busy, brother, for the past few weeks. What have you been up to?
Yeah, man. I apologize, guys. I know I look like 50 pounds of hammered crap, but I've had a client in town for the last 2 weeks. Flew in from Canada to train with me one-on-one, and lot of shooting. He's going to be training with me probably for the next year, to be honest with you. He's going to come down about every 2 or 3 months and train. But long days, 12, 14-hour days, a lot of driving, a lot of shooting. And then went to Troy's Gate, obviously, took him there and blew his mind, and had a great time.
It always does.
Dude, that place, good Lord, man. Yeah, man, just been really, really busy. I actually, as soon as we're done, I'm going straight to bed, and I've got to get up at 2:30 to take him to the airport. So, and then see you at the Blade show in 2 days.
Right, down at Blade. And by the way, guys, speaking of Blade, of course, let's throw our banner up there. Which one is it? There's so many of them now. There it is.
There you go.
So, Gahagan Customs, booth 533. We will have Mr. Joe TETI there. We will have Alan Kay and Chris Weatherman there. Blades, the Ground Branch Tactical is completed. We just got the sheaths done today. We're going to put it all together and put them in boxes. We are super stoked and fired up about them. They came out lovely, to say the least. Those are available, of course, at GahaganCustoms.com and at Blade Show. I don't even know if we're going to have any left. We've already been selling them. Hopefully we just sell them all out. But it's a great blade. That is a wicked fast, awesome purchase. Fits great in the hand. I mean, it's just everything you want in a all-around tactical blade. I think that covers it right there. So before we get into the topic of tonight, which is how to win, how to be a winner in the world of loss, let's talk about, it kind of coincides with everything that is going on with Trump. And I know everybody's talking about it. I get it. But, I just wanted to say, first off, I am so sick of hearing from the little pansies out there about, oh, you're selling fear. Oh, don't sell fear, T. You know what? If this doesn't get you a little bit concerned, you're a fool.
Yeah.
You're a fool. What's your take on all this, Joe?
Yes, sir. Here's how I kind of look at it. I mean, look at Mr. Trump. He's a wealthy guy, a lot of powerful friends, business magnate, smart, educated guys. If they can take him down, what kind of chance do you think people like you and I mean, us common people, have against a government that if they target you, if he can't fight it, what do you think you're going to be able to do? Zero. Nothing.
Nothing.
It's very scary. It's very scary. I've been really busy, guys. So I've been following it the best I can, kind of vicariously through friends and just texts and emails. But I think what that judge did was egregiously wrong. And if that judge wasn't either paid off or just bottom line so to the left, I don't know how you could possibly bump charges up. And every single, I think every charge went through.
Every charge, was it 30? Was it 35 or 36?
Yeah, I mean every single one.
Every one.
What the fuck? I mean, yeah, not good. Not good. So
not good.
I don't know what the law is, guys, and maybe somebody can chime in here. I don't know what the Constitution says about being charged with a felony. Does that disqualify him from running, or do you have to be actually convicted? And then if he does become president and becomes convicted, can he pardon himself? I don't know enough about our law and our Constitution. If there's anybody out there that may know, please chime in and let us know, because I'm being asked that by friends, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you're not allowed to vote as a felon, of course, but as far as that goes with him, I think everything can still, I believe what they plan on doing is they're just going to, they're going to try to lock him up. They're just going to try to lock him up, throw away the key. I think that's what they're shooting for here.
Of course. Yeah. It's my understanding, and I may be wrong, guys. I think you can run for president by not being convicted, but if he is convicted, that is grounds for impeachment. But from my understanding, he can pardon himself. I don't know. Again, I'd have to talk to a constitutional attorney. I just don't know enough about it to even speculate, but that is my understanding. But, man, oh man, how much fear this guy the people on the other side of the fence, they are so scared of this man. It is really weird. It's really odd. I understand not liking somebody, and I understand, not agreeing with politics, and okay, maybe he's a womanizer, maybe he talks out of line, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. I don't give two shits, to be honest with you. I need a president that wants to take care of this country and protect our country. All that other shit's ancillary. I mean, seriously, that's my personal opinion. Some may go, damn, Joe, but that's how I look at it. Your personal life is yours. Yeah, granted, if you're president, you're held to a higher standard. Sure, I get it. But, I think everything he's done has been for the benefit of our country. I mean, he's a patriot, man. I mean, obviously, the guy's a billionaire. He doesn't have to be doing this. Well, he ain't a billionaire anymore. They slam dunked him financially, but yeah, it's so sad, man. It makes me sick.
I mean, this is the state of the United States of America now. I mean, and just like you said, if they can do this to Trump, think about just the little minute specks that you and I are out here.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even be a blip on the map if they decided to do something like this. We would just cease to exist. We would just disappear. That would be the end of us. One day you see us, next day you don't. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at in the country. So yeah, I'm sick of all this shit, of these pansies selling fear and all this kind of stuff. Y'all, you should be a little fearful about this. You should be preparing for bad times ahead, because this is going to get stupid this year. Unfortunately, I have the feeling that it's going to just be ridiculous. And this is just the start. I mean, and either way, he makes the presidency, he doesn't get the presidency, it's going to end with a lot of bad stuff popping up throughout the United States. Because if he wins, you have everybody on the left's going to lose their mind. They're going to be burning cities to the ground. And if he doesn't win, we keep going on with this sick child molesting pedophile, if he gets it again, or God, whoever takes his place on the left is going to be just as bad, if not worse. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting year, man. There is no doubt about that. Yeah. But, what are you going to do? So, as far as how to win in the world of loss, I want to throw out there, you wrote your book there, Joe, and we've talked about some of your experiences with Ground Branch and stuff like that, starting off. And I think, to me, the number one thing to be a winner in this world, to me, is health. All right. And I know everybody's going to say, oh, belief in God and Christ, Jesus. Look, I get that, but we're vessels. We are vessels, the temple of God. We're supposed to be strong vessels for the Lord to work through. So health, number one, I think, has to be priority, especially with the times that are coming. I've been hitting the diet real hard again, and proud to say that since May 3rd, since Mountain Readiness, I am down over 20 pounds just this last month. So killing it. Hardcore, just as, almost carnivore. I mean, I'm right there teetering on that edge just a little bit. And I found the older I get, the carbs just do not, they don't do well with me. But, you were talking about with Ground Branch and when you went in there and how you were a great operator until you got to Ground Branch. Tell everybody about that right there.
Yeah, I, coming from Force Recon Marines, then Army Special Forces, I thought, I'm a pretty good operator. I've checked a lot of blocks, schools-wise, never been to combat at that point, but I thought I was pretty damn good right up to the point where I tried out for Ground Branch and found out that I was now trying out for a team that it was like a basketball team, and every guy was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm good, but I'm not that good. And that was a big, big deal for me because it created a lot of doubt in my mind about, am I going to make it? Do I deserve to even be here? And so I learned very, very quickly that the learning curve for me was going to be very steep, And one thing that I really took away from serving in Ground Branch was that, there are no experts. I hate that word, Bob. I can't stand the word expert, man. Oh man, it's so overused. It's just, I'm not an expert at anything. I know some subject matters pretty well, but I am not an expert. And that's one of the things that I learned there. The guys that I admired and, tried to emulate to be like them is they would look at you right in the face and say, I don't know half of what I really want to know. And I'm not kidding. And these are guys that were way more experienced with me and been there, done that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, if they're saying that, I don't know anything. I'm at 101 level. But I can just tell you, I think that anybody that wants to maintain their health, their fitness, their tactics, their shooting, their this, their that, they have to understand this is all perishable, right? Like I said, I just got done shooting for the last 2 weeks. Good Lord, dude. I think we shot, not counting airsoft, we shot at least 3,000 rounds in airsoft in a shoot house, at least 1,500 rounds each. And then we probably shot the same amount on a live fire range, pistol and carbine. Nice. Yeah. And so, it's funny. I started shooting and we were doing everything with a pro timer. Right.
Right.
And, and you're you're like, wow, that was kind of slow. Then you start warming up. Then you come back the next day and you're warming up and you're warming up. And it's amazing how dull your blade gets until you start, sharpen it up again. And that's what people need to understand. If you're like us and you want to be good at a lot of different things, you can't just go to a school or some training course and go, okay, great, and then just park that information. You have got to be a practitioner. You have to, like go to a lock picking school. I've been to 2 of them, and I got pretty good at it. And then I didn't practice. And then I tried doing it the other night, and I'm like, wow, like, come on. What normally took me 30 seconds took me 2 minutes, because my blade's dull. So just people that are listening, just if you want to be really good at something, whatever it is, you have to stay sharp on it. You have to constantly be honing that sword if you want to maintain that upper echelon,
HTF Hunter, I try that when I want to land myself in the hospital. I've already been down that road. I know what's up with the tactical games. That's all you, brother. That's
my buddy told me, I have a buddy, my Brandon, he's a lieutenant colonel in special forces. He's a really stud guy. He's like, dude, you should go to that thing. You'd probably do pretty well. And I'd like to go to it. I would love to do it, to be honest with you.
Would you? Well, you let me know when you want to go. We'll go. I'll see if I can land myself in the hospital. As long as somebody's there to carry me off in the gurney, I guess I'll be okay.
Be my second.
What is a day in the life of Joe TETI as far as health and exercise entail? Because at any given time, man, I talk to you, it's 5 in the morning, you're running. 5 a.m., you're out there beating shoe leather.
I'm getting older. I'm well into my 50s, and I can just say this, guys. Fitness has to become a lifestyle. It can't be a hobby. It can't be an on again, off again thing. It has to be something that every day of your life you incorporate something, whether you're eating right, eating a protein shake, taking your supplements, going to the gym, going to the pool, going for a walk, going for a run. It's a discipline. And the discipline word should be a 4-letter word for most people, because it's just discipline. I tell people, getting to the gym is the hardest thing. Get in your freaking car, and once you're there, you're at the gym. Just freaking work out, and I try to, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I eat healthy. Sure. Do I eat a pizza every now and then? Sure. Do I have a hamburger every now and then? Sure. I love donuts. But I think all in all, when it comes down to it, I eat very healthy. I sleep well. That's a biggie, Bob. A lot of people don't think, I can work on 6 hours of sleep. Wow, I can't. Okay. Right. I can't go a day. I've been doing it for 2 weeks and I am tired right now. I need like 2 days of just good rest. So maybe when you're 25, but not when you're my age. You need to rest and recharge your batteries, man. You just have to. But you're right. One of the things I'll just say this, I'll let you, I think once you get into that groove, this is the hardest part. A lot of people start it and they do it for a month or 2 and then they fall off the wagon. Then they jump back on a month later and then they fall off the wagon. That doesn't work. You got to jump on the wagon and stay on the son of a gun. And that's the hardest part. And if you can find somebody to hold you accountable, that's even better. Like your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Hey, did you go to the gym today? Did you do this today? Just make yourself 1% better every day. Just 1%. Do something to make yourself better. And that's the key. It's just little baby steps. It's not like you lost 20 pounds in a month. You didn't lose it in a week. You lost it in a month, but you were very disciplined about it, right? You had to work at it. So those people that look at guys like me or you like, well, I pay the price. I eat right. I sleep right. I go to the gym, don't hate me because I have a healthy lifestyle. I mean, that's
No.
how I choose to live. I mean, I might drop dead
And I'll tell
tomorrow,
you,
but
that's great. That's great. And of course, Mr. Matthew King, move with purpose. That is correct. That was my new slogan I threw on Mountain Readiness: move with purpose. Enjoy the journey, move with purpose. Everything you do should have a purpose as you work through your life. No, that's great advice. 1% a day. You know, and I tell you something that is man, I love ice cream. I'm not going to lie. I
me
love
too.
some ice cream. But you know, I've cut out this past month. I've cut out almost all processed food. Like
Good.
we just processed a bunch of chicken. I've been eating that. We've got a bunch of grass fed, beef in the freezer. I'm eating. Trying to, if it's in a plastic sack, I try to stay away from it. Here's something's crazy too. I was at Mountain Readiness. We had some of those little the little Hawaiian buns, I guess is what they're called. Whatever, bread.
Yep.
And I brought them back from Mountain Readiness, and I forgot them in a box on the front porch. All right, I found them yesterday. They had been sitting there in plastic bags inside that box with the temp, the heat, the humidity for a month, guys, for a month. I have a little video of it, and I'll throw it out there later. I don't have it uploaded, but this stuff looked like it just come out of the oven. Like, I
Yeah, that's moldy, man.
like flawless, perfect, soft. I took it out, I squished it around. There's no mold. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I didn't even give it to the animals. I just threw it in the garbage and called it a day. But I'm pretty sure that Americans, by the time we die, a lot of us will already be so preserved that we won't even have to be embalmed at this time because of what we're ingesting in our systems. And so this past month, I have not done a whole lot more as far as exercise. I've not added any intensity. All I really did was just clean up my eating, cut out all the sugar, processed food and sugar, ate healthy, and boom, all of a sudden I'm over 20 pounds down in 1 month.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to chalk it up as chance. I can tell you that.
No,
it's because you are what you eat, right?
Yeah, dude, that's a discipline, dude. It's a discipline. And I feel bad for people that, well, I have friends of mine that are my age and they're like, well, I'm too old now. Like, dude, that's a defeatist attitude. Like, you're not too old. I just feel bad for these guys that I know that have kids and they're so out of shape they can't even play with their kids. They can't even go outside and play with their kids or go like that. To me is depressing, man. I'm not saying you have to be able to do a Spartan race or an Ironman, but I don't know. For me, and I'll be honest with you, Bob, I'll put this out there right now, and this sounds a little, what's a word I'm looking for? Narcissistic, but people, when they see, well, no, but look, when people see me and they know who I am, they go, oh, that guy was a former this, that, and the other thing. I want to look the role for our young men and women that go in the military. I don't want to look like 200 pounds that chew bubble gum and go,
right.
Oh, you were a former what? You know what I mean? Like it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing for me to look the role as long as I can, because I know someday I won't be able to. But as long as I can, I'm going to. I want to look the role and represent the special operations community the best I can. So when people see me, they go, damn, that guy's in decent shape for his age. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that's important to me. That is a very important thing. And if you want to call it narcissistic, whatever, I just don't want to be that guy that you see photos of. Like, oh, he used to be one of those dudes, and look at him. He just let himself go. Wow. And sadly, there's a lot of dudes out there. I can mention their names, but there's a lot of dudes out there that are former this, that, and the other thing, and they're public figures, and they just kind of let themselves go. And I can't do that, dude. I can't do it.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you, and I get what you're saying. And unfortunately for me, I did get in that little rut with work, not sleeping. Because the young guy that in my mind, I'm still,
Right.
25 years old
Right.
there for quite a few years past that. And I'm like, nah, man, I can sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. That was the usual
I hear you.
response to everything. I sleep when I'm dead. And I found these past few years that if I don't sleep, I'm going to be dead sooner than what I thought.
Oh, yeah,
That's kind of where we come down to. So, that's a huge thing right there, the sleep. But you're right. You have to. I found myself, years later. I fought MMA for close to 8 years in my younger days, and my gosh, I would get into the ring and I would be up there, king of the ring, for hours, literally hours, fighting fresh guy in, and then fresh guy in again, fresh guy in again, half the night. And I found myself, I was like, man, I've about got too old for that. But really, then I look at my father that's 89 years old, still benching 300 pounds
That's
and works out religiously every single day. This
Doug,
guy can do over 20 pull-ups at 89 years old, and can pull his legs all the way over, flip over the bar. And that's because of the lifestyle that he's lived. So, no, you're right.
Right.
You're right. That's what we all got to
Yeah.
do. And I don't think it's narcissistic at all, bro. I think it's being proud of who you are and your accomplishments, and it's a reflection. You are a reflection of the life that you've lived. So let's throw a video up here, because we got big Pete Robertucci is in the house. And of course, Pete is a firearms instructor as well, and he is going to be doing a Troy's Gate 2-day at Troy's Gate, 1 day on the range, second day, a full day of Troy's Gate, right thereafter, mountain readiness in the fall. So 18th to the 20th is mountain readiness, fallout, and then the 21st, 22nd will be Pete. And here is the little clip of Pete at Troy's Gate and what he's got going on for October. Boom. And Pete, you did an exceptional job, brother. And we both know what that scenario is right there. That one there is made to get you going. That's for sure. So awesome job. And of course, we got all kinds of good stuff coming up. Remember, and I'll be signing up for this. Y'all, how many more spots you got? You got a couple more, Joe? Three more.
Three spots.
I'm going to sign up. That leaves two left, y'all. If you want to jump on this wagon, you're talking about training, you talk about learning, you want to do the things, you want to protect yourself, you want to be a better you. This is the type of stuff that you have to do to get to that point. So WETC there is coming up there in the 2nd through the 4th. And of course, protecting the homestead. I threw this on the website, guys. You will be able to buy tickets as of the 15th of this month. Tickets go on sale. And we're going to give you a little discount on the tickets. And then, of course, they will go up. There will be 0 tickets sold the day of this event. It's going to be pre-sale only. We're not going to have anybody standing up front trying to collect for you to come in for 1 day. This is not a, hey, I'm just going to go for 1 day to check out the vendors event. This is a 3-day training event We're going to have medical out there. I'm actually talking to some awesome people in the medical field. He hasn't pulled the trigger on it yet, but there's a good chance he will. If they come, that will be awesome. We're going to have rappelling. We're going to have tracking. We're going to have CQB, the whole bit. So you must purchase tickets in advance to attend this training weekend, and it's going to be awesome. And of course, Fallout is October the 18th through the 20th. Primitive Skills, we've got a whole lot of cool people that's going to be there. It sounds like you're going to be busy all month, Joe. Or maybe you guys can drop out there.
Yeah, no, I think I might be able to make it out. It just depends. I may have the gentleman that I'm training with right now come back in October, but that would be a great come out there and visit and kind of see, because doesn't get a chance to see this kind of stuff where he's from. So that might be a really good,
fellowship with some like-minded people and such.
Yes.
And of course, for all of your gear, check out Survival Gear BSO. That is our gear guy for mountain readiness. We love him. Brian does an awesome job, has awesome equipment. When is your stuff coming out, Joe, with him?
He actually texted me 2 days ago. He has basically sourced everything on that kit that I showed you when we were at Mountain Readiness. Yeah. And I think he's waiting on one item, and it's the actual waterproof box that it all goes in. And so once he sources that, he's going to put it out, because he's a genius at finding that stuff, dude. Like when I showed him all the bits and pieces, and I told him what it would actually cost, he cut that way down, like way down.
Yeah.
So I think he's just waiting.
Man, I don't know what he does on the background, but he's good at what he does.
He's real good. Yeah. So I'm gonna email him, actually get off the horn with you here and just see where he's at with it. But he loved the kit. I don't want to give away all the goodies here, but it's basically a very high end escape and evasion kit, but practical. Yeah, it does have a Leatherman in it. Yeah, it does have a Leatherman in it and all this goofy crap that ain't going to do a damn thing for you.
The bare essentials.
Yeah, that's going to actually work. There's nothing in it. You're going to go, what do I use this for? Like everything in it is pretty self-explanatory why you would have something like that in your bug out bag. So, but yeah, it's really cool.
Pete, I don't know what you're worried about, bro. You did good on that scenario. I'm going to tell you, I have to find mine. And I did good, but I promise you, there's still a dent in the wall from my shoulder from where I slammed that thing like a linebacker. I kid you not. When I caught that blast, man. Well, I mean, your first instinct is get against a wall, get some cover, So I slapped. Yeah, that thing will make you soil your britches. That's
he had
for
some
sure.
Very good non-threatening posture too. If you notice, he had very good non-threatening posture. He wasn't standing with his hand on a gun. So that was, and that's the hardest thing to do. And I'll be the first one to tell you, when I went there and told Randy, like, look, man, where I came from in Ground Branch, not too many times did I have to de-escalate something. It was, you're a threat or you're not. That's it.
Exactly.
You were dealt with accordingly. There wasn't a whole lot of this going on. So that was my weak link. And that's what I was really trying to work on, was talking, staying even keeled, not getting amped up. Because when you get amped up, the other person gets amped up. Then you get amped up. And then the next thing you know, it's all over. But the shooting and then it comes down to who gets the first round on target.
That's it. The first one on target, 99% of the time wins. That's just what it is. But no, that de-escalating thing. One thing I had the problem with out there was I talk with my hands a lot. So doing this, putting his hand up here. Next thing you know, he's had people shoot through their own hand. During. So talk with your hands. That's a bad thing if you have a firearm behind it. Yeah. So, but I got it down. I put the hand down when it counted. But yeah, no, Pete, you did good. That's a tough scenario right there. That make everybody jump. So, So next in how to win in the world of loss, right? So to me, I think one of the biggest things for me, um, even in my MMA career, and that was almost 8 years I did that. My last fight that I was training for was Indiana State. Was going to go PKC, get my pro card, and I gave it up because my oldest daughter was born. I decided it wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted to live. I needed to make a living, make sure that she had diapers and formula, all that kind of stuff. But one thing that I always did during training was I never trained with guys of my skill level and guys of my size and weight class ever. Never, never, ever. I was always in the ring with guys 20, 30 pounds bigger than I was. Golden glove. I used to spar with a 7-time Golden Glove boxer. Beat me to pieces, but surround yourself with winners. That there is number 2 on the list of what you should do to keep yourself, to make yourself better. And so this comes back to what you were talking about with Ground Branch. You went in there with a bunch of guys that were at a higher level of training, and you're forced at that point to excel, or or you either rise above or you fall below quickly.
Yeah, you're
right?
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I agree with you 100%. And I think I said this on another podcast, and this is for the guys. The ladies don't have to worry about this, but men, not all men, but guys that have egos don't want to train with people that are going to make them look like an amateur. I love it. I love training with people. Like when I trained with Jerry Barnhart, that guy could outshoot me on his worst day left-handed with a hemorrhoid. You know what I mean? Like, that's the guy I want to train with. Yeah, that's the guy I want to train with. Like, how did you get that good? That's the people I want to train with. I always tell people, take your hat off, take your ego hat off and park it over here and go train with people that are better than you, that are more proficient than you. Seek these people out. That's the only, you're going to train with someone at your level, you're not going to learn anything.
No.
You're not going to learn anything.
Nope.
Nothing. Go find people that have these little nitnoid, like where they've been in whatever subject matter it is, they've got it down so cold that they can teach you one little thing that's like, oh my God, I never knew that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I don't know. I've seen it over and over and over. Or guys, when you go shooting, they want to show you that perfect target and the center of it shot out. Check out my target. Yeah, that's cool. But you're shooting too slow. Like, that's great. Yeah. You're doing all the fundamentals. Side alignment, sight picture, grip stance, breathing, follow through, trigger press. But you're shooting too slow. Like, speed it up. Don't be afraid to throw a round in the B zone or the C zone. Because that's how you get better. I did it all the last 2 weeks. I was speeding up. Oh, there goes a round. Slow it down, speed it up. Oh, there goes another round. That's how you get better,
Yeah, I think everybody looks for, stacking rounds, and that's great. That's great now and again, just to slow down real slow and develop that perfect posture and stance. But at the same time is all the training that I've done, tactical riflemen, they're a big advocate for if you're here on your rounds, you need to speed up. Said the same thing. If you're doing this, you're shooting too slow. You need to take it up a notch.
Yeah. It was funny. One of the things I did with this gentleman that's here to visit with me, that just got gun training with me, is I showed him that you can actually shoot blindfolded. And he couldn't believe it. And I said, look, dude, and I'm not talking like 50 yards. I'm talking like 7 yards with a pistol.
Right.
If you got the proper, stance and you're squared up to the target, you can literally close your eyes and punch around and keep it in the A zone if you've got the proper body alignment. And I showed him, if you just tweak yourself just a little bit, watch where you shoot now. Now you're off the paper. So it's amazing if you do everything right. It doesn't matter if it's shooting or whatever, just the little nuances matter. It's the little details. And that's what I kind of pride myself on is when I train people is I really get in the weeds with some of this stuff, talking about proprioception and the RAS and all this stuff. There are people like, what is that? Never heard of it. Well, I didn't either until I got the ground branch. And I'm like, oh, holy shit, that's important stuff. Like, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm looking forward to it in August. So definitely want to get in there. But, something that runs hand in hand with surrounding yourself with winners. Now, here's the thing. I associate with people like you, Joe. I consider you a winner. You have perfected your craft when it comes to what you do. Same thing, tactical rifleman. There's a lot of homesteaders, but there's a flip side to this coin, guys. So if you were going to surround yourself with winners, is you yourself have to have something that makes you stand out from the rest, right? You can't just be like, hey, I'm going to hang out with all these awesome, badass people, and they're going to accept me into their fold, and I have nothing to offer. And that may sound kind of cruel, but you must be a viable asset to your team, right? Because you can't be the best at everything, guys. You can't be, the top homesteader, the top martial artist. You can only be so good at so many things. But you have to be a viable asset no matter what. So what am I saying by that? I'm saying is what? Sit here to yourself, guys. Sit here and ask yourself, what makes me an asset to my team, to my crew? That's something you guys really need to start thinking about, and I think about quite often is what makes me worthwhile of being part of a team. And I'm definitely not up there in the high ranks of schooling and knowledge on that end, but when it comes down to it, I've been in the construction business for years and years. If I can build just about anything. I'm self-sufficient, self-reliant. I'm an ASE certified heavy truck mechanic. Crafts, hobbies, bladesmith. Anything to do with trades in my hands, I've got it covered. And I'm a decent shot, but it's not a pat on my back. It is sit down and ask yourself, what can I offer my team as an asset? Because if you're setting, and I'm married to my wife who's chiming in, my beautiful wife, Amber, who just yelled through the curtain behind, it's like the Wizard of Oz, behind this sign right here is Amber running that yap. And yes, and there's another fine point of how to be a winner is your spouse, your teammate, your inner circle. If your inner circle is not strong, you're already off to a bad start. Joe, do you agree with that? That 100%. There to me is huge.
Yeah, dude. I can't do anything that you said that you're good at. None of it. Don't put a skill saw in my hand, or dude, I'm a train wreck trying to do construction. I about killed myself flipping a house one time. I cut myself right off a roof that was sitting on a piece of plywood. Anyway, I can't do any of that stuff, but it's great to have a guy like you on the team that can. I'm not a mechanical guy. Don't ask me to fix an engine. I can't do any of that stuff. But I think it's important for those of you listening, if you're trying to put together like teams of people, like-minded people, I think it'd be a really good idea. And I've already done this with my little group. Tell me what you're good at. And let's make a list and go, look, we're missing this right here. Somebody needs to learn this, or we need to find somebody that's really good at it. Because guys, if things do evaporate, having all these little skill sets, being tactical is one thing, but you still have to live and fix things and do things. And, it's a big pie. And Lord knows I'm missing a lot of pieces. I'm pretty good at a couple things, but there's something don't even ask me to change the oil in my car. Seriously, I'm a train wreck when it comes to that stuff. But what you said, Bob, about your spouse or significant other, that is really huge, because at the end of the day, if somebody came in my home right now, it's me and carry. That's it. And, you know, good luck, because I've trained her. An outstanding marksman with a long gun and a pistol. I have literally stood next to a target this close while she was shooting and wasn't even worried. But you're right. You have to have that inner circle strong, especially if things start going really bad, because what are you going to do? Call your friend, come over to my house and stay here for like maybe, but chances are that's not going to happen. You know, you have to train, just like the gentleman that came down here and trained with me. He's actually bringing his wife with him on the next trip, which I think is brilliant. You know, brilliant, because it's just him and her. They have no kids, and they live kind of out in an austere area. And if things go bad, I think he even told me that the police response time, like minimum is 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, same here. Like 30 minutes to 2 hours. So where we're at here in Wilkes, it's 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on where they're at in the county.
Good luck.
So, you know, and this comes back to September when we're doing Protecting the Homestead, because that whole weekend of training is based on your inner tribe, your inner circle. We're not talking about your friends and stuff like that. Hey, look, if you may have some friends that come over and they, you know, help with security with you and stuff, but it always comes down to your inner circle and that inner tribe, your family. And if your wife can't run that rifle and she shoots you in the back of the head, that's a bad way to start the shit hit the fan off, right? That's just what it is. And if your children are not trained to a certain degree, I'm not saying you kids have to be running around and, you know, parachuting in and stuff. No, but what I am saying is they have to have basic understanding and knowledge. You know, I have to say, if something bad happens, if the door gets kicked in, you have a game plan set. Okay, here's where we meet up, or here's where you go right now to hide while mom and dad take care of this threat, right?
Exactly, dude, 100%. Having plans, emergency reaction plans like that are critical, because in a situation where maybe you do have somebody entering your home, you don't want your kids and your family running around the house while you're looking around corners. Like, that is just, Troy's Gate will teach you that's not a good idea. Right.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bad idea. You know, so, having basic plans. It's like telling your daughter, look, you know, if you hear something going on downstairs, hide in your closet, get behind the clothes, like something, have some plan. Don't just, well, we'll take care of it when it happens. No, you won't. You're not going to take care of it. The only thing that's going to make you survive is luck. Screw luck. I don't believe in it. I don't. No, you better have a plan, because you know, you're already reactionary, and action is faster than reaction, and you're already in a reactionary mode because somebody's in your house. You're already screwed, right? You got to even the game up.
Oh yeah. No, and it's, you know, there was I'm not going to say who it was, but there was a story that I was told during training, and it was super sad, because the guy was a highly decorated SF guy, and he was home. His daughter had come back from college, and she decided to just kind of surprise everyone in the middle of the night, snuck in the house, and this guy come down the hallway, and when he come around the corner, she jumped out, and he keyholed her, killed her instantly, one right through the heart, dead. Killed his own daughter, you know, had no idea. I mean, how horrible would that be? And so, you know, these are these things of training procedures in place that you have with your family. You know, it was just a dumb thing that should have never happened, completely innocent. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff that happens. The last thing you want to be doing is running CQB through your home with your little kids running all over the place, and you have a threat, you know, in the home with you, you know. So that's why you guys need to train for these bad scenarios.
Yeah, that kind of stuff won't work out well. Here's one other thing. I don't know what made me think about this, but I actually had this conversation with my client who was here. How many of you listening have a key hidden outside your house? So if you lock yourself out, that you can get in. Okay. Now ask yourself this question. How many people know where that key is at?
Yeah.
I hope the answer is, well, just my wife and kid. But it's so funny because I've known more than a few people that are like, well, yeah, my neighbor in case this, and my guys, look, it's like telling people how many guns you own and how much ammo you have. I mean, you need to treat that as like sensitive information. Nobody should know where your freaking key to your house is at, except like the people in your house. But yet,
Yes.
I've talked to people who are like, yeah, my mom knows, my dad knows, my brother knows, his wife knows, eesh. And did they tell
It's
anybody?
a bad idea.
And did they tell anybody? I don't know.
Yeah. And it's too,
Not good.
yeah, that's not something. No. And here's another side of this is hiding the keys in the most just evident areas. Like I put a key. I put a key under the mat. I put a key under the planter pot to the right of the door. Look,
Right.
man, criminals are smart, right?
Yeah.
They
They know
think
where to
of this
look.
stuff.
Yeah.
So not only do you need to hide your key and not tell everybody about it, except for the people that are within the house, you need to hide it in a decent place, not the little fake plastic dog poop sitting out in the yard.
I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, do I have a key outside? Yeah, I sure do. Good luck finding it.
Exactly.
Good luck finding it.
Exactly.
It ain't gonna happen. Let me just tell you that. It ain't gonna happen. No way in hell. But yeah, you'd be surprised how many people just put a key above the door. They'll put a key under the planter right next to the door, or they'll put it in, something right on a table. Or guys, come on.
Right.
This
and
is
then
stuff you need to clean up.
Clean it up. And then shit hit the fan, Hunter. I threw that up there, but yes, my pistols have lights on them.
Absolutely.
The end. All right.
Period.
If you don't, you should, because most of the time a gunfight is probably going to happen when it's dark out. That's number one. Number two is it confuses the threat. And I actually tried that out there at Troy's Gate. I come around the corner and I blasted him with the light. I mean, them dudes, they couldn't see anything. It caught them all completely off guard. It is a game changer, guys. If you do not have lights on your guns, your long guns and your pistols, then go out and get one. If there was one thing that you should have on your pistol and your rifle, it's a good light.
Yep. And just keep in mind, if you're going to get a light for your gun, consider getting a light that's 1,000 lumens or brighter, because 1,000 lumen bulb will actually stun somebody's eyes to the point where you'll get kind of a shock factor. It doesn't blind them, but if you remember like the old school cameras that little flash went off, that's what it's going to do. It's going to buy you a second or two of them don't like this, where you can get a good sight picture if you have to shoot. But 1,000 lumens will get it done. And there's plenty of lights out there. I mean, you can get anything from a Surefire light to an Ola light. That I actually have one that's on one of my pistols. It's 2,000 lumens and it strobes.
Yes.
Dude, it is so bright. If you even do it in a mirror, like 20 feet away, you're like, Jesus, like that's what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah, I've got a stream light. What is it? The H something. I think it's 2,000.
Yep.
And that thing will burn your retina out. I kid you not. Like in broad daylight, you can see that light when you put it on something close to you. I mean, it's phenomenal. And just like you said, it gets you 1 or 2 seconds, which is a whole lot of time in the game of live or die, right?
It was funny that the gentleman that came down here to train with me, before he came down, I told him everything we're about to do, everything is measured in tenths of a second in inches. Everything. tenths of a second,
Nice.
inches. And he didn't believe me at first. He's like, well, then we started training. Then we started using a pro timer. Then we went to Troy's Gate. And after it was done, he's like, wow, you are not kidding. It ain't in seconds. It's in tenths of a second. And I'm like, yes, sir, it is. Like this. It's over.
How fast things happen. Just that quick.
That's
I was
literally
watching I was watching videos today, and there was one of it reminds me of that second scenario there at Troy's Gate. It's like, unless you were 110% on your A game, you ain't going to see it.
Nope.
You're catching it. And this guy, it was a drive-by. He was driving along the road, and then the other guy pulls right up next to him. It was a dash cam that was on, and just riddles him. Full auto, riddles him, and car flips off. Just that quick, just a tenth of a second. He looks over, boom, that's it, done, lights out, and it happens that fast. And that's what that second scenario is so great with Troy's Gate is it shows you just how quick things can go down.
And you can, and that one scenario, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I had my gun in my hand. I didn't even have it in my holster. I had it to compressed ready and still ate it. And I'm pretty fast on I still ate it.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing is that dude just pops around the corner and boom. I was watching another video. The guy they were cutting corners, CQB coming in, and it was it was of course the blind spot of the doorway where you really as he come through, the guy just grabbed the end of his rifle barrel, and that turned into a big old huge mess right then and there.
Yeah.
No, man, it happens just so quick, so fast. And that's why that training, that speeding up instead, if you're shooting really good, speed up, catching that extra tenth of a second could be the difference between life and death for sure.
And that's why people need to understand the OODA loop and the color code of awareness and the RAS and reactionary gap. Like all of this stuff, all these little finite things, they all like connect like cogs in a wheel. And the more you understand how that works and how your brain processes information, where you go observe, orient, decide, act. Like it takes a second and a half for most people, the average person, to cycle through their OODA loop. A second and a half. You don't have a second and a half. You just don't. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Long time. Yeah.
That is a long time for sure. And Matt King, hey, bro, anytime you need some help, but come in September, this is stuff that Joe is going to be going over. How to set up your rifle, how to set up your pistol, CQB, moving with your wife, you and Leanne, moving through the shoot house, doing all the things. This is what we're going to be doing in September. You will iron out all kinds of deficiencies in September, and you will be a changed man forever. And I'll get you over there to Troy's Gate. You'll really be a changed man. So speaking of Troy's Gate, of course, we're about out of time, but next Monday, we will have Randy Martin with Troy's Gate back on. He's going to be here joining us, hanging out. And it's always good to talk to Randy. That guy is just a plethora of knowledge. That's a big word for a high school dropout. I apologize in advance. But yeah, plethora, that's a good word. So make sure to tune in. And of course, if you guys would like, share, subscribe, share this, ring the bell, whistles, comment, tell us that we did a good job, get the word out, because we're still trying to grow this and keep pushing content out to all you guys, because we're in an ocean of live streams and YouTube videos and Facebook videos. And so I notice it seems like every time I turn around, I'll post something and it get like 2 likes, because it had a firearm in the picture or whatever. It just blows my mind. Unfortunately, it's the world that we live in. We're always going to fight and struggle against the hierarchy that monitors everything that we do. But guys, we're about out of time. Joe, lead us out of here, bro.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We know you got other things you can do to spend time with your family, whatnot. But you know what? Spending an hour, I think, just listening to us talk, if you can get one gold nugget out of it, just one, it's better than watching a TV show. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. I think putting out content like we do and just putting out one thing where you go, oh, wow, I never thought of that. That's just
Yes.
one little tactical nugget you can put in your toolbox. And imagine if you go do it all the time, how much stuff you would have in your tactical toolbox. It would be overflowing. And that's what you want.
100%, Joe. 100%, brother. I agree. And like I said, guys, take a little chill time this evening, sit back and think about where you are at in your life, whether it be preparedness, skill sets, all these kind of stuff. Don't stop training. Don't be like, man, I'm really not good at anything. If your answer is, I'm just really not good at anything, we'll start. All right. Pick something that you can say, okay, if things get really bad, will this be helpful in a grid down scenario? And if the answer is yes, roll with it, but do something. You don't have to train with us. We would love for you to come train with us. But if you can't, go train somewhere else. Do something with your time instead of just sit and watch television and play video games and stuff like that. Unless you're watching this live stream. And then it's completely okay because you're actually learning something. But on that note, guys, stay safe. We'll see you next time. God bless, take care, and thank you for spending the evening with us. We'll see you next Monday.